Hey guys, it's the patient hodler coming at you with another video, and in this one we are going to talk about the FUD that has been increasing in the community and that we are seeing on social media, and we are going to talk about the different stakeholders in the Omi token and in the Veve app to assess if this is really a problem, to whom we should listen and to which voices we should not listen to. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor and not a financial advisor. So please do your own research before you ape into Ecomi and the Veve collectibles and all the other investment opportunities that we are talking about in this video. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider dropping a like, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think about all of this FUD in the community and that investment composition that we are going to see in the following video in the comments below. If you want to do more than subscribing, liking and commenting, you can become a rare hodler and sign up to my Patreon, link in the description. I especially welcome Sebastian and the Alien Object as my new Patreons, but also overall my 7 Patreons. Thank you very much for supporting me on this journey so I can come out here and sit in nature together with some flies and mosquitoes and take these videos for you. But with that out of the way, let's get started. So when we access Twitter, Facebook, even Instagram and YouTube, we can see a lot of FUD. People that are raising their voice to call out that Veve has rug pulled its members, or that Veve is a scam and that the investment would not be valid for certain reasons, that the Veve team and the Veve founders would try to get away with our money, with our gems, and just stalling and so on. So we hear all of these voices calling the Ecomi token going to zero, or all the collectibles going to zero because of some problems that appear on the roadmap. So last video we have put the gem exploit into perspective. Now I want to put the investment structure and these loud voices and the FUD that we are reading into perspective. And here we go. So first of all, we should take a look at who is invested into the Ecomi token, and the Ecomi token is largely driven by the perspective that the Veve app will give utility to that Ecomi token in the future. So if we look at the overall composition, we have at first the Veve team, and the Veve team is holding bags, and that is not news, of several billion Ecomi tokens. But then there are others that are helping the Veve team or working and collaborating with the Veve team, such as Alfred Kahn and Jeremy Padawa, for example. Then we have the Ecomi whales, people that got in early and accumulated a whole lot of Ecomi tokens. We also have the licensors that actually have some tokens for themselves, because there was or is a business development wallet that I think holds or held 15 billion different tokens. And I need to make a cut here because of that plane coming close, and you will not hear anything after that. So probably licensors such as Disney, DC, Warner Bros. And all the others that we have seen on the app already have received a parcel of these Ecomi tokens to hold for themselves as well. And then we have the OG investors, like the early investors of the community, that we also find within the space of the YouTubers or bigger Twitter channels, or having some kind of a voice within the social media ranks. And then we have the retail investors or recently entered investors into the space. So all of this composition do we have. Now, when we are looking at Twitter and see these comments of people that claim that they have sold off everything because they got scared, or of people that are just wishing that the whole project goes to zero and nothing is valuable anymore, or those people that say that the Veve team is only promising to then rug pull the investors and so on. So if we look at that, we should try to put these people, before we take seriously what they say, into perspective or into a category of those I've mentioned. Are they a whale, like a confirmed whale? Are they part of the licensor team of a future licensor or of one that we have on the app? Are they part of the Veve team? Are they part of people that are working with the Veve team? Or are they OG investors that are around since the beginning of the token, or since a longer time at least, so that you can check whether they are whether they came in a long time ago or not. And usually, from my experience, if you put or try to put these people into some of these categories, you will always end up with them being a part of the retail investor or have entered recently category, have little followers on Twitter, and have generally not proven that they have looked deeper into the project. Because if I look around and I see like people like African, Jeremy Padawa, people from the Veve team, even ex-Veve team, I cannot find too much of the FUD comments. In fact, I don't see them as so loud voices. Now, the people that have recently entered and have smaller bags of Ecomi, they are also the ones that have the least impact on the OMI token or on the Veve collectibles, and therefore they are loud voices but without power. Now, the only power that they have is to scare off new investors, because if new investors come into the space and read all these negative comments, then they might already turn their backs on the Veve app, because if there is a drop and they read under that drop, for example, that it's a rug pull, bots are getting everything, that the founders are trying to scam people and so on. So that is the true power of them. So we have, in fact, a very, very loud minority that is trying to harm the project consciously or unconsciously, but they are in fact harming the projects with their ramblings. The question here is, should you listen to those voices, and should you let yourself scare from those voices? And we could think of another example here, and we all know that from our private lives. So we are either somehow like this in some situations, or we know someone who is like this. And this is people that get angry or loud or nervous when they are scared, and then they are just unbearable in that situation, and it's really hard to deal with them. So some of these retail investors act like these people. They get scared because they see that half of their investment is depleted at the moment with the Ecomi token, and they see that all their collectibles are dipping, and for them the last 3 weeks was a whole long time. And then at the same time they see that deadlines are broken and that the team did not deliver exactly as planned, so they get really, really scared. And some of them also over invested because they thought this would be a chance for quick money, and in fact it was not. So they were not even planning to be in for the long term. They thought this could be a Shiba Inu rocket rise, they ride it to the top and then they sell. Now, they had false expectations while coming into that market. So, okay, now when we see that whales are calm, so the question that you need to ask yourself is, do you see whales, like confirmed whales, being nervous about their investment and running around like Jake the chicken, claiming the end is near? Or are they calm and just putting out some tweets about the investments but not fudding around? So, I mean, these people hold billions of tokens, and yes, there are some that are not investors but traders that are selling their tokens, but with the intention to scoop more up within the drop. So they are riding the wave of fear to accumulate more. And you wouldn't do that if the project was only going down with no purpose and no perspective to come up after that again. So the trader rides the wave down until his exact limits where he wants to get back in, and then have a bigger bag of Ecomi. So of all these investors within the Ecomi token and the Veve collectibles, those who are the least time in it, and many of those do not have much money invested compared to others, these are the loudest at the moment. So I would just recommend, by taking this video, that we analyze where FUD exactly is coming from and which tweets we can actually take seriously, and just don't let that influence ourselves too much. Because if we are reading on Twitter and we are reading this all the time, this is kind of programming our mind to that negativity, while we have other options to just go back to the fundamentals, look around and see what actually has changed. And then we will see, compared to when we entered and the reason why we bought the token, almost nothing has changed. Yes, deadlines have not been held, but the roadmap still stands. Yes, buybacks have been cancelled, but other utility is in sight. So my personal opinion is we should stay calm and focused, and if we get too much influence of this negativity, we should just turn off the Twitter, the social media at all, maybe even YouTube, and go out into nature, just rest, think about why we invested, what has changed, and take a moment and reassess the situation. And if you then come to the conclusion that you still want to stay inside of this project, then you are continuing to hodl, and in my opinion, you'll be richly rewarded for that in a longer time period. But with that said, I'm already at the end of this video. So wherever you are, enjoy your day, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night or afternoon, and see you in the next video.